Okay guys, today we are going to make alcapurrias. Those are one of my favorite Puerto Rican street foods, okay? So we have here 3 green bananas, 2 yautias, a piece of pumpkin, and a plantain. But of this plantain, I'm only gonna use half of it. Or maybe little less half of it. Okay? Because I'm only making a few alcapurrias. So as I grate it, I will see if I need to add or take away. And I will let y'all know. But I'm so excited. We're gonna make some alcapurrias, guys. Okay. Okay guys, so the next step in this frying pan, I put some clean canola oil and what I showed you earlier, what we call achoite, we're gonna add at least half of this pack to that oil. And I just turned it on a medium heat. So basically, we're gonna wait for as soon as it start bubbling. As soon as it start bubbling, we're gonna turn off the fire. We just want the color of the achote to emerge in the oil. But as soon as it start bubbling, you turn off the oil, the burner, and you remove it from the burner. And I will show you how it look in a few minutes. So this is what I'm talking about. As soon as it starts sizzling like that the oils just start getting hot, you are going to, and you start seeing some of the seed coming to the surface, you're gonna let a few of those seeds come to the surface, a few more, okay? And you're gonna turn off the fire and you are going to remove it from the burner. Don't leave it in the burner while it's hot because it will continue to cook it, okay? That's what we want. We want that color from it into the oil. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna start peeling what we call yautia. We call this root vegetable yautia. In Puerto Rico, other countries call it malanga and so on. Okay, but in Puerto Rico we call it yautia. They have usually 2 colors of it. The white one, when you peel it, is white inside, and the purple one. I usually prefer the purple one, but here in Texas I've been having a hard time finding anything. Okay, so this is how I do it. I cut my ends first, and then I use a knife that's not gonna cut you, like the little steak knife with the little teeth on it. So you're able to cut this, but at the same time you're not gonna cut yourself, okay? We want safety, always safety. So I'm gonna start just peeling the skin. Okay. Sometimes they be having little back parts of it, and I just cut that off. All right. Continue to peel the whole thing. And go around. Okay. This is how you peel a yautia. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel the rest of this yautia, and then I will continue to show you how to peel the rest of the root vegetables, okay? The next thing we're gonna peel is going to be our green bananas. Green, completely green, guys. It cannot be sweet, it cannot be yellow anywhere, completely green, okay? So again, I grab my little saran knife to do this job. I cut the ends I make a slit right there, and I start pulling away with the little tip of the knife. This is something you gotta take your time, especially if you're not used to doing this. Until you get the hang of it, you know. And be careful you don't poke yourself with the knife. So you take your time. Because if you try like to cut the skin off the banana the other way with the knives, you're gonna take off a lot of it. And sometimes some bananas are easier, some of them come out pretty easy, and then you have some they give you a little tough time. But again, repetition will make you perfect on it. All right. This is the labor of love. And again, like I said, if you cooking from your heart, okay, it takes time. It takes time, guys, to cook from your heart sometimes. But you know what? It's better for you and your family. You see? So I got me a peeled green banana. So I'm about to peel about 11 of them. So I will show you how I do the pumpkin after this. Okay, I'll start with the inside, cut that little piece off, and then I lay it flat on my board, and then just start cutting away at the skin. If you try to cut it like I was doing with the bananas and stuff, the skin of the pumpkin is pretty tough, so you don't want to cut yourself. So you want to lay it flat and cut around it. And you see, we got a clean piece of pumpkin. All right. Okay. I'm gonna use, we call this guajo, which is, you know, it's a shredder, I believe it's called. So we are going to use this part of the guajo, that part of the guajo. Okay. So we're just gonna start, you know, which it don't matter which one. And we start. This is the hardest part of making pasteles. You know, everybody hates this part. So grandmas and grandmas, what they used to do, especially in my household growing up, you know, it's time to make pasteles. They'll have a few guajos, you know, and they'll sit on the table and highlight the young kids, you know, telling them stories, making them hot chocolate to keep them entertained, and then be like, here, baby, here's a guajo. You know, you are welcome to start grading a few of those for grandma. And of course, you know, everybody loves their grandma or their mom. So everybody grab a guajo and start going at it in small little bowls. Everybody had a small little bowl. And then everybody, you know, at the end, they'll combine it. But also, you know, it was quality time well spent with family, and that's a tradition. You sit around and things like this. You talk and you tell stories and just enjoy family time while we're doing this kind of process. Now, I think there's so little machines that people make. If anybody knows, anybody that sells those machines, let me know so I could be prepared for next year, right? But especially if you have little kids, when it gets to the little nub, you know, don't put that in there. Get rid of that. Sometimes I save the little nubs and freeze them up, and when I'm making soup in a rush or whatever, chicken soup or whatever, I add that stuff to it. So again, you know, this is what you're gonna do with all the root veggies. You're gonna shred them like this,
And that's the part that you use. And it don't matter, you go up and down, round ways, whatever works for you. Whatever you find more easy, this is what you will do. And of course, when you are done doing the whole bowl, the first thing you need to do is right away clean your wardrobe. Clean it right away, so none of that stuff stays stuck in there, because it's very easy if you let it dry up for it to get stuck and also stained up. So you always want to have clean hands when you're doing this stuff, of course, because you're going to constantly be doing this. Put your hand in there, scoop out, and you'll start looking like that. You start looking at the mixture like that. You see that? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing the rest of this whole bowl, and I'll be back with you and show you what's the next process. Okay, so I like I told y'all, I already ground the rest of the stuff. I always leave like the plantain for last for the alcapurria. So of this plantain, this is already ground the rest of the masa for the alcapurria. Okay, and always guys, the masa, keep it either in a glass container or plastic, but never ever metal, because when it sits in the metal, some type of reaction, I think it's the acid that comes from the root vegetable, it will get spoiled. You will not be able to use the masa. You will have to throw it away. Okay, so after all that work and money spent, you don't want that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add peel the plantain, and like I said, I'm not using the whole plantain. The plantain, what it does, it gives it that crisp ice outside to the masa. So you don't want to add too much of the plantain, because then your masa be hard. Okay, so again, like we did the bananas, you grab the little, it's easier to do it with the plantain, more easier than the banana, but you grab the little tip and you do this. If you get impatient, I guess you could always do this, right? You just gotta be careful you don't take off a lot. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grate this as well and add it to the masa. So I went ahead and grated the whole plátano, green plantain, because a lot of it stood, see, it's not that much, but it's enough to give the rest of this masa the stiffness that you want, and to give it that outside crisp when you fry the alcapurria. You want it to have that body. So you see, it's a thick. It stay on the spoon a little bit. Okay. When you make an alcapurria, you want that thickness. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt to the masa. Okay. To season it, because that's all it's gonna have. It's gonna have the salt to season it. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more of the salt. Like a pinch on each turn. Pinch of salt. Okay? Just a pinch of salt on each turn. That's all you need for the masa. And then the final touch for the masa is going to be the Achoite Oil, which I'm going to place the link below. also how to make it separate if y'all need to. It's good to have the achoite oil prepare and have it because you could use it for so many things. Okay, so I'm gonna, again, it gives it not only color, but it gives it like this smoky flavor as well. Okay, and again, make sure that the container you have the masa in is either plastic or glass. Never ever metal. Or your masa will spoil. I'm gonna go ahead, and when you add the achote in any of the masa, it allows you, for some reason, it doesn't stick to big chunks of stuff that may have stayed in chunks when you was grating it. So I think we're good with the masa. No need nothing else. Looking beautiful, guys. It's looking beautiful. Okay, so the masa, she has a color like that. Beautiful. I wish I could just bring it to you, to your home. Okay, we'll be going to the next. Okay, so I have this chicken breast that I had in the freezer. They're frozen. So, I mean, you know, if you able to get it fresh at the moment and cut it up at the moment, that's fine. If you have it frozen, this is the way you dissolve this. Okay, guys? So I have my fire on medium high. And I'm going to start by adding some water to this. And I will start by adding my chicken broth, my Sazon, a little bit of oil because it's chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, so it doesn't have fat, okay? I'm gonna grab some adobo. I use the one with the pepper, with the black pepper in it. But they got different flavor ones. It's your choice what you like. Again, with all my recipes, like I always say, you adjust this recipe to the way you like it, to the way it will fit your family. Okay? I'm gonna do garlic powder. I don't know if you guys could see it good. But garlic powder. Again, with my season, I pretty much just cover the top of it, especially if it's a season that does not have salt. Okay? Now I'm doing onion powder. Now I'm gonna crack some black pepper, peppercorn. Again. You use it to the taste of what you like, okay? And let me go get me a spoon so I can add the star, which is what, guys? The sofrito. So go check out my links in the bottom. You will find the recipe of how to do the sofrito. So you already know I use a lot of sofrito. It saves you a lot of time. Okay. So I added like what, like 6 or 7 spoons. Again, sofrito is a blend of onions, cilantro, and bell pepper, and garlic, and olive oil. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cover this up. And again, where's my spoon for holder? Y'all know I don't like Putting my spoon on top of the counter. And I'm gonna let this go to a boil. And after all the chicken is on top, I will come back and show you what's going on with it, okay? Okay, so here is our chicken already cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it to see if I gotta add some more seasoning at this point. To my liking, okay? For my family liking. You do what you want for you. So right now what I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of oregano. Again, you already know I like crushing whole oregano. That other stuff that's already crushed for you doesn't have any flavor I like. Voila. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add, let me get a clean spoon. I'm gonna go ahead and add some olives. Olives, guys. Again, you could adjust it how you want it. If you don't like olives or your friend don't like olive, it's fine. I like adding a little bit of juice to it as well. The next thing I'm gonna go ahead and add is tomato sauce. Okay? I add the whole can to it. The whole can. And I'm gonna add another envelope of Sazon to it. Another envelope of Sazon. And again, this chicken stew is like almost like a stew. We call them guisado. You could use it for many things. You could use it for the alcapurrias, which I'm gonna make that recipe. You could use it for the pasteles. You could use it to make empanadas. So it's a lot of things you could do, okay? Like I said, a lot of people like using pork. I'm using chicken, but it's also delicious with pork, okay, guys? So you wanna use pork instead of the chicken. Basically the same thing, same ingredients. And I'm gonna add a few more of my sofrito. I already told you, I use some sofrito. Can't go wrong with sofrito. Okay, guys, this is how the guisado is looking. It's already done. Okay, look how beautiful that is. That's what you want. Okay, guys, this is the moment of truth. We're about to make some alcapurrias. Okay, I grabbed about a table and a half of regular spoon and spray it a little bit, not much, don't make it too thin. And then I grab some of the chicken we cooked, smaller spoon. I like having olives in mine. And I put that filling right in there. See that? And then I grab a spatula and I start folding it in with the back of the spatula. I used to have, I haven't made this in a while, but usually I use, you know those spatulas they sell to serve desserts? Those are the best to use for this. Okay? It becomes like a little pillow. I'm gonna add just a little bit right here on the top. You see a little hole right there? I'm just gonna cover that. Okay. And I'm gonna give it a little bit more shape. Also, another way of doing these is putting it in a piece of parchment paper, and people usually freeze them, like fold the parchment paper and let it give it some shape. But you're trying to eat these like, so it's different ways of giving it a shape. You just gotta give it a little love, take your time. It's just practice, okay? Now we're gonna take this to the oil so we could drop it, okay? This is how it looks. So I got my frying pan going. I have my fire on medium, not high, medium, guys. Because if you have it on high, when you get, as soon as you drop them in hot oil, super hot, they're gonna burn on you, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna grab this spatula, the metal one. You can't be scared either. Don't be scared of the oil. I drop slowly, slowly, guys. Look at the shape, nice and low. You see that? I'm gonna go ahead and create another one. Again, you don't make this too thin. Middle, try not to grab too much of the broth. And I grab this one, and again the same process, guys, okay? And use a small sauces so it'll be easier for you to maneuver when you're doing this. You said a large plate is gonna be harder to do, okay? So always use something smaller. Again, you see that? I'm about to cover that top with just a little bit more batter. See? So don't get scared. You see, oh my God, got a little hole. That's fine. Just grab a little bit more of this masa and cover it up. Simple as that. It is absolutely fine. Again, my fire is on medium, not high, medium. It's very important, guys. So here I go with the second one. Again, don't be scared of the oil. Treat it like a little bit a newborn, almost. Until you get the practice of doing many of these, you need to handle with care. All right. This one is moving, and what I like to do, I like to grab the spatula and lightly cover it with the oil. Because usually they fry these like in a big, deep pot, okay? And I do that so it could get a little coating in the top. So when it's time to turn it, it doesn't break on me. All right. So when it's time to turn, I will show you next. Okay, so now it's been about 2 minutes on the first side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead a little bit like this. That's the last one I dropped in, so throwing a little bit of oil on it. Very softly, guys. All right. And again, the oil is still on medium. So you just gotta come. Oh my God, look at that color. How beautiful. Okay. Look at that. Look at those, guys. Don't they look beautiful? Gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're gonna let this fry for at least another 2 minutes on this side. Okay. Okay, so it's been about 1.5 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my fire on high real quick. And the trick is for only like a 30 seconds on each side on high. And the reason you do that is so your alcapurria are crispy but not burned. And also it doesn't, when you have it on high, it doesn't let the oil stay in the alcapurria. So, you know, so you only keep it like 30 seconds. Well, not 30 seconds, half a minute. Well, it is 30 seconds on each side on high. Okay? Just for that purpose. So it could give it that little crisp. And then let me get a plate with napkins. And you could tell when it's high because it starts bubbling more, you know? So you can see the bubbles more. So now I'm gonna grab this fork and I'm gonna start taking them out, honey. I let it drain off a little bit. And you see, the whole time you cook it on medium until the end. Then at the end, you turn the fire on high and look how beautiful those alcapurrias are. For my Puerto Rican people that knows. Okay? Okay guys, so this is the moment of the truth. We got the alcapurrias here, right? One moment, I gotta get me some hot sauce. You know, Puerto Ricans, we love that hot sauce with alcapurria. But let me see where I put my hot sauce. Okay. So I'm gonna grab me a napkin and I'm gonna grab me an alcapurria. You see, guys? You see that? It got that crisp in the outside, right? I'm about to break it right in your eyes. Look at that smoke. Ooh, look. Look at how tender and colorful that is. Oh man, but it's still crispy outside but very tender inside. I'm gonna add a little bit of the hot sauce. You don't gotta put hot sauce because it tastes great without it. I just used to growing up eating it with the hot sauce, but give me a second because it's hot. I haven't had this in a while. And when I was growing up in Puerto Rico, and they cook these outside, guys, in the big old pot with the wood, which should give you that smoky. I'm having a moment. You know what I need to go with it to make it like a full experience of the Puerto Rican? My coconut water. Guys, so tender. Look at that. And so delicious. It's crispy outside, but so tender inside. I'm gonna burn my heart. Oh my God. Guys, give this recipe a try. The hardest part is just making that little shape. It's gonna take you some practice, but you will get it because repetition makes perfect, and I promise you are not going to regret it. Thank you for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that bell button, and also like. I appreciate you guys being in my channel, and I will have plenty of more recipes coming your way. Thank you.